forgot to start recording. Oh well. Never mind. Anyway, you'll see I'm very good at this. Fisk here, putting down a barracks. Could be that they're unaware currently that you don't need a barracks to go into something else. As Berbers, I would expect scouts usually in a regular game. Could be going man-at-arms. We saw one of the other players the other day going man-at-arms Trush. That made for a very interesting game. And quite the food income here for Fisk. And it looks like Artiste is also heavily on food. In fact, Artiste has far more on food. It's just, I think, yeah, Fisk here hasn't gone on to a mill yet. So I think more efficient technically food income. I'm just gonna slightly speed up the early game here. And it looks like Artiste is starting to wall up. He's going stable. Which I suppose, yep, that does make sense as the Persians and Fisk is getting some scouting information in here. Now knows where Artiste's base is. And I believe they missed the second lumber camp. Yes. And there's the stable for Fisk, going Scout Cav. The barracks, if I hadn't made the barracks. Yes, indeed. Though, I think in this instance, the barracks are still useful. Just because, just lucking out for the fact that it appears that Artiste wants to go Scouts. Bloodlines first. It's an interesting choice. Personally, I would go Scouts then Bloodlines, as Fisk has done here. Just means you can get aggression in earlier. And what are you doing, Artiste? I bet you Stand Ground is probably not selected currently. And quite a few berries now for Fisk. We got some more walls coming from Artiste. Somewhat questionable walling going on here. And this could potentially hamstring him a bit later into the game. It would if he didn't lose a scout and scouted this a bit more. Can check that real quick. No, he's seen that. It would have been probably better off to wall just straight across here. And Fisk is going in looking for some kills, but Artiste has some good reaction there, putting up some quick walls with those houses, and is warding Fisk off with the scouts. Scouts now coming back. Fisk's wood lines are still open at the moment, so if Artiste does manage to get some scouts back around there, that could be a problem. Unless Fisk possibly gets some scouts on or spears on those wood lines. And it appears that... So, we've got Wheelbarrow coming in now for Fisk. Still don't have Horse Collar. And I think Horse Collar is somewhat important if you want to go Scouts. But again, I'm not used to a Feudal Age start. The wood upgrade is generally a lot more important to get. But we'll see what happens. And we have a Blacksmith coming up now for Fisk. So I can expect we'll be seeing Scale Barding coming in soon. And there comes the Horse Collar now. And it looks like Artiste is now the one taking the chase and heading back. And here we have a spear out. And that should make a pretty good deterrent at the moment. The spears on the wood lines probably be perfect here. And a Forgotten Goat. That's unfortunate, but I know the pains. I have been there myself, used a couple sheep to scout, and then just... It's weird. I'm a sheep short. Don't know what happened there. And it looks like these scouts are now coming around to see if they can find anything. or just they're just going over here for later, setting up. From the looks of it, Fisk and Artiste are both looking to go Castle Age soon. They're both banking a lot of food, and Fisk is now on gold. Artiste still isn't on gold though, and if either of the players were to go full feudal, I would have expected far more scout production happening. And I think full feudal is certainly an option here. But these walls here will keep scout raids out for the time being. So would probably be a better idea for Fist to go castle to get knights, and their Artiste takes the go and just cowers behind this wood line. I'm sorry, Artiste. I swear I didn't mean it. And we got some White House walls coming in here. I like that a lot. Just needed possibly some extra walls here, but on Arabia, it's quite hard to wall with palisades now, and rather expensive to do so. And here we go, Castle Age with Artiste slightly behind and Scale Barding Armor coming in for Fisk. So I'd expect to see a second stable come up. And, oh, sorry, we've already got the second stable. It's my bad. An excellent raid coming in here, and there's a Vill pick, and we're going to have to pull these villagers back. But yeah, I would expect that Fisk will go into Knights upon hitting Castle, and we also have double barracks from Artiste, who actually went and produced a couple extra scouts. And unfortunately, because of the walling at the moment and the spears being elsewhere, it looks like Artiste might find a couple picks, but will at least idle those villagers off the wood line. I'm still seeing this particular walling here as possibly being an issue later for Artiste if Fisk can get into a position to pressure, and must be feeling pretty happy for themselves. Got Castle Age, got armor, can start producing knights. Yep. And Artiste is a little bit behind, but it will also have scale soon, and has a gold mining upgrade coming in. But we got these scouts hanging around, and these knights and spears, if Artiste isn't careful, will get cleaned up. Runs them into the spears, but it looks like these scouts will live to fight another day. Potentially see a second town centre coming up here for Artiste, and I like it. Artiste is going into camels. That will be excellent against the knights, and is certainly a good prediction, I suppose. Unfortunately, Fisk has come forward sort of knowing that the scouts have gone behind them, which later might bite them in the neck. Oh, not having loom? Oh, I can't check if I get loom, unfortunately. Oh, and we got the camels here for Fisk, so that's some good presumptuous. Question is, because Artiste has gone for full camel immediately, and here come the scouts again to harass Fisk's economy, and it looks like we got another KD. But down here we've got the knights in on the wood line. Got a couple picks there for Fisk, and there's a bit of confusion here happening for Artiste at the moment. Those knights are going to run past the TC, but they're going to be running into some camels, and most likely will be getting cleaned up. While this one camel here, he's doing a decent job getting a couple Vill picks, and it doesn't look like Fisk has noticed yet. And yeah, those knights are going to go down, and Artiste has quite a good mass of camels at the moment. So in a very strong position, military with 13 to 5. Interestingly enough, both players are essentially neck and neck in terms of villages. Um, and we have the second TC now for Fisk as well. The question is, considering it looks like Artiste is going to go full camel, will Fisk commit to also going full camel? And oh no, there is a hole there. That is unfortunate. It would probably be better if Artiste focused less on the stable and attempted to get more picks. Could even probably harass this woodline still, and especially with this hole here, could get some picks on those gold vills. We could possibly see some more spear production from Fisk, but we'll have to see. And Artiste is buying food. Just more camels, I suppose. We could potentially see a forward siege workshop here from Artiste. A nice quick wall there from Fisk, protecting those gold miners and keeping those camels back. And it looks like Artiste is going to try and find another way in. Still with the scout behind. And he's going to find this wall here and the third sneaky stable. So it looks like it's back around to the other side. And a couple camels here, taking out that spearman. Again, the economies are still good. Excellent attention to economy. But Artiste definitely still has the military lead. Now, I don't think Fisk is on stone yet. So I don't think we'll be seeing a defensive castle very soon. And if I remember correctly, it's not Berbers, but it's Saracens who get the market bonus. So we could potentially buy a stone for a castle. We could, I think, monks would be a good option here. Throw down a monastery, pop out some monks, try and get some conversions. Monks and camels. Otherwise, possibly some spears. Yeah, here we go, got some more spears. Put down maybe a second barracks or something. But I think, as Fisk is playing very defensively, that stone would be very important for a castle very soon. And we have a third TC coming in for both players. Uncanny at the time that they're playing it. Placing them down. And here we go, Fisk going on a stone. And it just looks like Artiste doesn't want to come in. There's too much focus on mid. And could definitely be going off to the sides here. Could even run past all these villages, get a couple of picks on this wood line. And it would be all up to Fisk to react to that. But we are now seeing a much more even military with Fisk pulling ahead in villages by a little bit, and Artiste with the town centre idle time. Could even see a castle drop from Fisk. I would more expect a defensive castle. A castle here would be excellent, protect this side of the economy, and this is what I want to see from Artiste. Plenty of camels, enough to take that town. So no, turn around. Did he see? I think he saw that. Maybe not actually. Still, could definitely hang around a little bit longer to at least try and get a couple of villager picks there. But anyway, Artiste has decided to fight another day. And we still have some decent military production, but Fisk is pulling ahead in the eco. And we're still getting some mortal idle TC time here. Definitely for Artiste. Artiste loves this stable, loves this area, really wants to get in there. And we got some pikes now from Fisk, and it looks like Artiste is kind of giving Fisk here the opportunity to just sit back, play defensively, and boom. Which could eventually turn into a bit of a problem. But we have a monk here now from Artiste. Looks like they're just going for relics at the moment. Excellent. There, and we can potentially see that monk come forward to try and convert a couple camels. But we still have a military lead for Artiste. Not by much though. And those spears are starting to be a number that will be a problem when mixed with the camels. Alone though, well, Artiste fears the spears. No, here we go. Yeah, this is an excellent fight for Artiste at the moment. I'm going to clean up those counter units, and it'll be a bit too late for those camels to really mass in. So, unfortunately, the advantage there lost for Fisk, and here we have the camels mashing together, slowly trying to get through. Not sure if that is pathing or just the choice of target. And we do have a second barracks now. I like that. That's good, solid choice there. And Fisk could go Imperial very soon. And we have a castle coming up here. Considering, oh, and we have a castle drop from Artiste. But considering that Artiste loves this position here, this is a good spot for the castle. Unfortunately, this castle might get denied. And it doesn't look like this castle is going to get denied anytime soon. I don't think there's enough villagers on this castle. 7, not even 7. Yeah, this castle here is probably going to get denied very soon. And Artiste here is just cementing that position offensively. Especially denying this gold here. Surprisingly, not denying this castle. This castle will go up, which is a small victory here for Fisk, who's then going to put down a 4th TC. Going to protect that stone there, and we're going to boom even more. But now Artiste is going ahead in Eco, and I think that's just mainly due to the Eco KD down here. But pushing Fisk back a bit. And we have a second defensive castle coming up here. It's in a pretty good spot there. I would have preferred to see it slightly on the hill just for that bonus damage. Still be protecting this stone in that town center. However, in this, it might range this stone pile here. As we see Fletching come in, and Fisk is now going to Imperial Age. And we see two castles staring each other down. And now we have the Camel Archers coming in. Excellent. Camel Archers mass can be very hard to deal with, and it will most likely force Artiste to pivot into skirms. And Artiste is now at 109 villages, 10 villas ahead of Fisk. Oh, not quite anymore. Wait, can I count? Yes, I can count. I swear I can. And we have, is that a tower? Tower foundations deleted, and that castle does range that stone. So ending up to be a pretty good position for that castle there. And with two castles, maybe we still need to see, for the Camel Archer production, we're going to need to see more castles, I believe. And currently, would probably want to see less villagers on food, going more on wood. But Fisk has a lot of wood floating at the moment, so getting that initial lot of archers out probably shouldn't be a problem. But we're definitely seeing more and more being moved to gold. Still a little bit behind in the vill count at the moment. Still need to see a couple more villagers here from Fisk. And it looks like Artiste has reached a comfortable amount there. And Fisk is doing their best to keep Artiste off the resources, trying to slowly gain map control. And now we're Imperial Age and we got the Treb out. It's an excellent position. If you're being castle dropped, you just throw down your own castle, put some Trebs behind it. And my god, those walls. I think this castle would have been better on this side, because it would protect the gold and the wood line on this side a lot better. However, it's not the worst there. And potentially even some stone walls from Artiste. But it looks like Artiste is more of the aggressive player. But very soon it could look like Fisk, will be going on the offensive, running a lot of camels into a castle. So we're going to run past that castle and we'll see if we can hit. Oh my gosh, look at that. Right in his face. Probably could do with a couple more vills, but damn. Yeah, I'm not sure that castle's going to get finished. But we're going to see some kills here for Fisk. That Eco KD comes up, those camels come in from Artiste. And definitely looks like a worthwhile raid here for Fisk. And Fisk has the better armor upgrades. I just think these camels will win. No. The numbers are too great. This is actually pretty surprising. And we have yet another castle coming up. And it looks like Artiste wants to go into crossbows. I'm not sure what the decision making is behind that. But we will see. And that castle was finished. I am somewhat surprised by that. And wow. Yeah, no, I was right about the armor. Looking up here too much. Must be losing. And unfortunately those Trebs are getting hit now. But those archers are about to be eaten by a couple camels. And the Trebs are now a lot safer. And we got more Trebs coming in for Fisk. And Fisk has turned this game around, slowly taking up map control, taking advantage of Artiste being perhaps a little bit too hesitant at the start, trying to focus too much on this area here. And here we have multiple Trebs, and we should have more Trebs soon, forcing Artiste here to answer, which will be very difficult considering they just lost their Treb. Here come the monks. And will the monks be enough? I would say no, probably not. But here we go, here's a raid. Here's a good raid coming in from Fisk. Then there we go. GG is called from Artiste. And first game goes to Fisk. Excellent match. Definitely could have gone Artiste's way earlier on the game. But it appears that Fisk has a much stronger late game and can use that map control. And let's have a quick look at the stats here. Some pretty even in terms of kills and economy even. So these players are pretty well matched against each other. And we do not have pro. And we will not get pro for now. But let's now go to round 2. And we are back. In for round 2 on Arena. Oh no, it looks like Artiste is an Arena clown. Playing Kumans and Fisk as the Teutons. It would appear that Artiste wants to boom, and does get the additional town centre in the feudal age. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was their choice here to go Cumans. However, due to it not being an Empire War start, I think he'll have a lot of difficulty getting that wood quick enough to throw down that second town centre. But I could be wrong. Meanwhile, the Teutons will be farming away, and we'll move ahead here a little bit. As it's arena, I don't think we're going to see too much exciting gameplay early on. Hardly any kind of rushing. The only time I've seen rushing in games in arena is when I accidentally deleted a piece of wall and let in a bunch of people. Fisk has opted to keep their wall here up. Not sure if that's a conscious decision. Same as Artiste though. Or it could just be that they haven't scouted it and just worried that it might be open. But yeah, it looks like, and then Fisk is pushing in a bunch of deer here, and it looks like Artiste is doing the same. So we're going to see a lot of booming. Hell of a lot of booming. Still probably going to be more interesting than a Black Forest game. But it'll be, I'm not sure what exactly they'll go. Can only assume Artiste might go into Cav Archers. Teutons, heavy cavalry, infantry. Teutonic Knights, I doubt we'll be seeing any of those, and the one downside to the very heavy armoured cavalry of the Teutonic Knights is that they don't get husbandry, so they are slower. And I think because of that, if you do go that way, you really do want to try and take map control as the Teutons, and that may here be Fisk's strength as evident in the last game. And here we go, the walls are taken out there as well. And it looks like Fisk has managed to get Artiste scout under their town centre, and it's down a scout. But yeah, here we go as predicted, and 8 minutes in, not too bad for a second town centre to go up. It will take a while to build though, considering it's a feudal age human town centre. But might give that slight extra boost. Fisk is already ahead though by 2 vills, and that's we'll see if this here will make a big enough difference. But it looks like very soon Fisk is going to go Castle Age. Yes. I did this last night myself, except I was playing a normal game and I was in the Castle Age and I was trying to go Castle Age. I don't know. But yeah, Fisk here about to go Castle Age. Could potentially go into a fast imp, but still, again, plenty of stuff here to expect. But those farms are going to be excellent. And it does look like the Cuman second town centre will pay off. Though Artiste is behind in age, they will be able to continue to produce vills while aging up. So Artiste may be able to slightly pull ahead here. And we got no one camping any of the relics at the moment. And a blacksmith coming in for Artiste. Yep. Looks like they want to go up as well. And starting to bank some resources. And here we have a stable and a monastery. So potentially we could be seeing some monks scouts here as more of the arena play. Definitely collecting those relics are extremely important objectives in arena and can definitely push you towards winning the game. And we have the third town centre now coming up for Fruktfisk. And Artiste is now on their way to Castle Edge. But Fisk now has Wheelbarrow, now has Bowsaw, and has the town centres. This third town centre will be chugging away very shortly. And we got Scout Cavalry coming out here now for Artiste. I could only assume that to try and contest the relics. And it looks like here Fisk has managed to snag a relic already. And that Scout is low. And this Scout here is camping this relic. And the third TC now coming in for Artiste. And it does look like Artiste will continue to have that villager lead. So it does look like that Feudal Town Centre did pay off. And Artiste is banking quite a lot of stone at the moment. So, as the military situation isn't exactly grand for Fisk, I would not be surprised to see Artiste come forward and try and drop a castle. If dropping a castle, probably here or here would be best. But we could see it just about anywhere. And, oh no, we're going to lose another monk. That's another 100 gold gone. And now we have the fourth town centre coming in for Artiste. Cumans be boomin'. And damn. Will someone stop this man? Will we see a fifth town centre? Who knows? Oh, now we have the knights, but as you can see, no husbandry due to them being Teutonic knights. Literally Teutonic knights, but not the same thing. And oh no, here we have the scout. Oh, not the scout, sorry. We have the monk here from Artiste. And this is why I dislike Arena. And here come the Vills. Looks like we've got 8 Vills coming forward. That's a decent amount. And slow that back down. Yeah, Artiste has vision here. And yeah, it's going to throw it right down where it can protect this stone. Hit some farms. I believe it won't range that gold there, unfortunately. And back on the camels. However, Artiste is going to have to be very careful of the pikes that the Teutons can produce with that extra armor. I believe it does affect the Teutonic pikes. And is that a second castle? Artiste is going hard. Backing that up with some stables. Damn. We could be seeing... Oh, and Artiste is now going Imperial Edge. This is very interesting. I think one of the best answers for this from Fisk is to, if they can get into the Imperial Edge, is to go bombard cannons. Bombard cannons and pikes, potentially. And they would have seen this here, but I'm not sure if they can see the camels. And now the focus is on. And here we go with the 5th town centre. Let's go! My man likes to boom. And look at that wolf come over here. That's pretty funny. And Artiste is definitely ahead in villages. That's something you could say for sure. And Fisk here is the one who's now idling the town centre this game. Possibly a little rattled by this. And we've got a second defensive castle coming up here. Personally think the castle would be better in here as a defensive castle. Put Trebs behind once Imperial Age. and could get denied. And we have the armor upgrades now coming in for Artiste. But Fisk was looking pretty happy there with 4 relics, while Artiste has only managed to get 1. So if this manages to go long enough, Fisk definitely has a better position for gold. These 2 piles here, and the relics. But, I mean, Artiste still has access to 2 piles outside of their own walls as well. And the walls are down. And Artiste has enough for another castle. We could probably expect that very soon. Definitely, 1 here could really be a big problem. And here comes the pikeman upgrade, as well as squires. And here we see some excellent aggression from Artiste, who really wants to get in. And while that castle is a castle, I think those trebs, that castle can really be ignored here by Artiste. And really those trebs could be focusing on the town centers and hitting the economy here. And it really looks like this game is going in Artiste's direction. Not sure what the go is with this castle. That's a bit of a question. Would have probably preferred to see one here. If not, maybe here if you wanted to go for a defensive one. But he really doesn't need to go defensive right now. And has enough stone for yet another castle. And it looks like Fisk here is going to go for repair. And it's now bringing out the traps behind the castles. But it's not looking good for Fisk at the moment. And the castle will go down. And Artiste has quite the number of trebs there. And there we go. The GG is called from Fisk. So it looks like we'll be going into game 3. Making this a pretty exciting match. Or set. And just look at that economy difference. Artiste booming away. Stone, so much stone, so many castles, and it just allowed for that instantaneous production of military, I suppose. Yeah. $122 vills to 83. Missed the first game. Apparently I've been butchering your name. It's not base. Your base now. Congratulations. A little bit of the recording will be cut because I forgot to start recording, but only like the first 5 minutes or so. So you should be able to catch that later on YouTube when it eventually uploads. Thanks to my very slow internet speeds. So yes, let's move on to game 3. Alright, here we go. And we have Fisk rocking the Byzantines and Artiste over here playing the Indians. A civil known very well for its eco bonus. And we're on Golden Pit. This is one of my favorite maps on the ladder because I'm pretty good at it apparently. But it definitely does need some map control, and Starting in Feudal Age, this could be very interesting. Because typically, starting Dark Age, you only manage to be able to push forward for that map control in the Castle Age. However, starting the Feudal Age, we might be able to see a little bit more aggression here from these guys, being able to push each other's economy. Nothing super exciting here, just getting some deer, pulling in the boar, and yeah. Byzantines are a pretty good civ in terms of trash. Considering Fisk's defensive style of play, I wouldn't be surprised to see Fisk defend until Castle Age with cheap trash, and then attempt to go into Cataphracts or Arbs or something. And I'm sorry, did we see a lame? Oh, Fisk, how could you? There we go. We have a cow being stolen. Or are you bringing it back? Don't. Ah. What an honourable. Oh! Oh, there we go. Did a U-turn. Funnily enough, a friend and I were testing out some new maps, and basically the only thing I've seen on the maps beforehand was just quickly generating them in the scenario editor. I didn't check for resources or anything, and they had no idea about it either. But he had the audacity to lane me in one of those games, and I felt pretty bad about it, not gonna lie. But here we are in a more competitive setting. We're playing on a pretty well-known map. However, in future, if we go, next tournament, we've got a custom map pool, probably suggest having a few games on those maps beforehand if you can, just to get an idea of where the resources might be found in terms of deer and bull. And Artiste loves their walls, but these walls are a lot better than the first game, I will say. Artiste style is very mixed. Has trouble committing, but I think, well, if the first game's anything gold, if Artiste can boom, can definitely hit his stride. But Fisk appears to be the better defensive boom player. And we have a blacksmith and the stable, so it could be that Artiste has decided to go into scouts. And this is definitely, no, it's not very that open. Definitely have watered this wood line. Artiste might be cutting themselves a bit short here on that wood line there, especially with overchop occurring. It's not really like gold pit maps, they're pretty safe. And Fisk here is already just opting straight in for some defensive spears, which is an excellent choice against what Artiste might do here, going scouts. Though we're not seeing any scout production yet. And Artiste is ahead in villages. And that's probably just because... No, that's probably because of the idle TC time that Fisk now has over Artiste. Looks like first game was Artiste warm-up game. And there we go, there's the overchop. However, I don't believe we'll see Fisk come in super aggressive, so for now I think Artiste is going to be pretty safe. And Fisk ahead in that score lead, but I believe that is mainly due to scouting at the moment. The score lead early game doesn't really say too much, but this scout has found the hole in the wood line. And it will have a little cheeky sneak peek behind here. And it looks like Fisk will see that Artiste has decided to go on stone. So, and is now going Castle Age. So, Castle drop? Maybe? Towers even? I think towers probably wouldn't be the best idea here. but a castle definitely in the middle. Probably go. Yeah, normally you drop your first town centre down here, Castle Age, and then back it up with Castle. And we got Artiste is going to lose their scout right now. And Fisk is now ahead in the Vills, but that is probably purely just because of the Castle Age going up at the moment. With Artiste just about to hit it, and it already has Forging, which is an interesting choice. Especially when you normally go armor first, so definitely feel like Artiste has more of that aggressive mindset. And archery ranges. Triple archery range. Somewhat ambitious, but I like it. Archers do range these gold and stone piles a lot better. I've heard pretty good stuff about archers on Gold Pit or the other gold one, Gold Hill or whatever it's called. So I think that's definitely a good pick here, and it's going to be Cav Archers. So Artiste is going to be very mobile very soon. However, we got the stable up. Stable's up. Looks like this was planned for. And we have bloodlines already. And looks like Fisk is now moving out to this gold. Could potentially see, I expect we'll see a town centre go up here. And still very open, considering that I'm expecting a defensive play. Now, there goes the second town centre is now going up. And a third town centre. It looks like Fisk wants to boom a little bit more. However, booming could potentially be a bit better with some walls. And now Artiste is going to come forward with some Cav Archers. And this could be a potential problem because I don't think Fisk has an archery range in here. Here we go, the archery range is now being built. Those pikes aren't going to be able to do too much to deter the archers. They can just hit and run. And we've got some more archers coming in over here. And I really do like this rating from Artiste. I like how they're not, like, while clumping them does make it a lot easier to take Vills. No, I just take the damage. Yeah. Is that how you're gonna play the next round there as well? Just take the damage. But anyway, yeah, it looks like we got some camels. That's a nice pick there, considering we already have the stable up. But I think we'll be seeing some skirmishes very soon, especially putting that Byzantine bonus to work. And there's some quick reactions there from Fisk, getting in the town centre. I mean, you guys are just gonna you're all watching to figure out your opponent's next moves, right? So base here's whoever they verse next. It's like yeah. Okay, so Fisk is pretty offensive. Yeah, okay, yeah. Artiste like walls. Yeah, okay. And Artiste is on it. Gonna slap down a castle in the middle there. Really go for it. Here we have some more stables. I think this is going to end up being a pretty good mix. Stables, skirms. Not camels, skirms. Stable skirms. Who am I? But definitely need a couple more upgrades. The one problem I see with currently skirms, camels is the split. Preferably you go one and fully upgrade into them first and then start complementing them. And just going to lose all those pikes there. It's a sad day. And Wow, the villager count is still pretty even. Even after Artiste has taken some of those fills. 4-0, but now racking up a lot of idle TC time. And Artiste is going to bring those back. But with this large mass of... This is definitely quite the force right now to be reckoned with. And could do quite a lot of damage if used in the right spots. Definitely get a couple picks here, I think. Release force off the wood and stone. And here they come. And there comes a defensive castle from Fisk. That's a decent position to protect this part of the economy, but still can run around here. So we might see some stone walls or something there. And Artiste has decided to park their army and build some more. No, here we go, here we go. Oh, here comes the action. And Artiste is now abusing the market and ruining those the food prices and getting that gold. But currently it looks like Artiste is now the favourite for this particular game. And depends how efficiently Fizz can use those units and use Artiste's hesitation here. Trying to work so can't focus on their weaknesses. Damn, but wasn't me that told you. There will be a YouTube video that you can go back to. And also there's all the recorded games on Discord. That is quite the large number of cav archers there. That is a sizable force. And still doesn't have bowsaw though, which is a bit rough. Might have forgotten that there. I've done that quite a number of times myself, but could potentially save up for ballistics, and these cav archers would be a big problem with ballistics. However, going to run into this castle instead. So I do like this game, how Artiste is, instead of focusing on one particular area, probing around a lot more. But Artiste currently does have the middle. But is falling behind in villages. Not by much, only about 5 vills. So, no, I tell a lie. 7, 8, 9 vills. And we have some more cav archers, and we have a lot of vills coming forward now to build a town centre there. For the wood, I suppose. I mean, could potentially put that on the wood line a bit better, but in the end it probably doesn't matter. Artiste is in a very good position right now. Got 35 cav archers. Still needs that armor upgrade, but that's all they're missing at the moment. And Fisk still playing very defensively. But all this time that Artiste isn't attacking is giving Fisk the time to start to mass these skirms and camels. And it looks like Fisk is looking to go Imperial Age very soon. There we go. And as I always forget, the Byzantines have a cheaper age up. So we might be seeing some cataphracts soon. And if the first game is anything to go off, this could be where Fisk turns the game around. But now getting Bodcanero, I assume for the skirmishes. The which works pretty well. And it looks like Artiste has decided to push with a siege workshop. Though I am somewhat surprised Artiste hasn't gone for more stone to put down some more castles here. Fisk is going to take this opportunity to come forward and try and get a castle of their own in the middle. But this massive horse archers are just going to shut that down. And it looks like Fisk is going to run out of gold very soon. Fortunately for them, they're playing Byzantines. So they could run on no gold for a little bit, just pumping out trash units. But definitely going to need to see a castle put down at some point and take that middle if they want to go cataphracts. Meanwhile, Artiste is running wild. Yes. Yes, I like this. And applying a lot of pressure here now, hitting that town centre. Now that Fisk is in the Imperial Age, Artiste might be a little bit more hesitant on their position, and as we see, pulling back. But still think can run circles around these skirms a bit, and I'm gonna lose this mango here to 4 camels. But damn, what is this? Genghis Khan's horde? What are you waiting for? And yeah, here we go with the treb. That's going to be very hard for Artiste to get rid of without their own treb. The one downside of going cav archers, or just even regular archers, is it's very hard to dive siege equipment. Especially when they're being defended by your counter unit. So we could see Artiste attacking into something else, and oh no, we missed it. We missed the castle drop here from Fisk. And is that a treb? Look at, wow, what a play. And this is really, I think this really has rattled Artiste here. Scrambling to come back to defend and try and do something to answer that. But now, receiving some pressure on his own middle castle, and not quite sure what to do with this large army of cav archers. I still think the best option with those is just to go past all this and hit the economy, because you can't really do much about these trebs right now. Still, Vil count is very even, and even the military is pretty even at the moment, but I would argue that Fisk's military is just going to wreck Artiste at the moment, and I think we're going to see a fair few, yeah, the skirms. Still no ballistics for either player. And Artiste now buying stone to repair that castle in here, but I believe that castle will go down. There's not much he can do about that there. And I can only imagine Artiste at the moment is having a terrible time trying to figure out what to do against these trebs, and they're just tearing the economy. But this is definitely a pretty unique play, and I think this has probably been a very interesting set so far. Very entertaining. So can't wait to see what these guys do in their future games as well. And Artiste is still managing to hold on to that castle in the middle there. And I apparently missed the Imperial Age upgrade there. Whoops. But we'll be needing some troops soon if we want to do anything about that. Now, I think Artiste could potentially go into light cav, and I think, no, they only have a camel rider. I think that's good if Fisk goes into cataphracts, but it doesn't look like cataphracts are happening. I think potentially the better choice here is just to go Hussar and really put that economy onto food. That way you can really go into those skirms, and the cav archers can clean up the camels as best as possible. And finally we see the massive army of cav archers in the back of Fisk's base. And I think it's now occurred to Artiste how much of a threat that is to Fisk just by having them here. How much damage can be done. And Fisk is quickly walling everything up here with houses. And bringing back all those skirms while continuing to push this castle in the middle. And here we go. Here we got some camels and some light cav coming in to snipe that treb there. And that treb's going to go down. And then they're going to try and get the next treb. But still doing some very decent damage to Artiste's economy here. And Artiste is now doing some decent damage to Fisk's economy. And now Fisk is in the lead in terms of economy and in points. So I think this risky move here has paid off. But and that treb is still going, but no murder holes, so maybe one day this camel will take down that castle. And here we go, another castle coming up for Fisk. Really applying pressure in the middle, taking that map control, really demonstrating that late game map control push that was shown in the first game. And Artiste is selling wood like there's no tomorrow. Really looking for gold. A lot of farms there that can't be used. Probably trying to keep that castle up, so a lot of people on stone. And it does look like those cav archers were cleaned up, so it might be too much splitting attention there. And it really does look like this game is going Fisk's way now, and that's just the power of the late game. The power of the late game Byzantines is pretty high as well. And no end to those villas. Still going. But Artiste will need to repopulate if they want to get back up there. And look at that military lead, 50 to 15. That is quite the lead there. Fisk here in an excellent position to take the game. While I think Artiste is a bit split in focus, trying to boom and not just going full military. However, I do think it's a bit difficult considering the dent that has occurred here in the economy of Artiste. But finally we have Artiste with their own trebs coming up. It's excellent putting the trebs behind their own castle, making it much harder for Fisk to answer them. However, Fisk here is still in a much better position and now has two castles in the middle, along with two trebs, I believe. 3 trebs. But massing those trebs, I think we'll easily see that castle gone soon. And Artiste is going to run out of stone. Has 0 vills on gold, and it looks like it's going to be full scouts from here, light cavalry. So unfortunately no Hussar. I'm not even sure if Indians get Hussar. I apologise, I do not know the entire tech tree. And there we go. The GG is called from Artiste. A very entertaining set with the first and the last game potentially going either way. Very excited to see what these players do in their next rounds. The next rounds round pairing should be going up soon as well. and we'll see what happens with the whole dark feudal thing. Again, would have to be unanimous. Thanks guys for coming around to watch, and I hope we'll be able to see the next games soon enough, whenever that will be. But anyways, I'll see you guys around.